Welcome to my channel. Support our channel by subscribing. Your subscription helps us grow and create more intriguing content like this. Now let's dive into today's story. James Carter, 35. A diligent software engineer and family man, James is well known for his work ethic and dependability. Balancing work and family life has been challenging, but he's always believed he and his wife shared a strong bond built on trust. Recently, though, he's felt a change in their relationship. Laura seems distant, preoccupied with her phone, and often seems more excited about her social life than spending time together. Laura Carter, 33. An elegant and creative interior designer, Laura has a sharp eye for detail and a talent for transforming spaces into works of art. Her extroverted nature and charm have drawn people to her, including a new friend named Evan. As James has become busier with his career, she's found herself feeling overlooked, slowly seeking validation and companionship elsewhere. Evan Michaels, 34. The owner of a boutique fitness studio, Evan is charismatic, confident, and ambitious. He met Laura at a networking event for creative professionals, and the two immediately hit it off. Over time, their friendly exchanges evolved into something deeper, with hidden motives and secret desires. He's known to be persuasive. With a knack for drawing people into his world, James had been noticing Laura's subtle shifts in behavior for months. She'd become glued to her phone, often laughing at messages she wouldn't share, and stepping outside to take calls in hushed tones. At first, James tried to rationalize it as just a phase, a side effect of his demanding work schedule. But as Laura's attention continued to drift away, his mind started racing with questions. One evening, James returned home from work, exhausted yet eager to spend time with Laura. But as he entered the living room, he found her laughing over a message. She quickly shut her phone and placed it face down on the table when she noticed him, giving a weak smile as she greeted him. That moment stuck with him. Why the sudden secrecy? Over the next few weeks, he noticed more signs that raised his suspicions. Last-minute girls' nights out, calls she would take in the car with the engine running, and an overall sense of detachment. It felt as though she was slipping through his fingers, and James was determined to uncover the truth. One Friday night, James found his chance. Laura had left her phone charging in the kitchen while she stepped out to take an unusually long call. In a split-second decision, he picked it up and, with shaky fingers, unlocked it. He scrolled through her texts, bypassing friends and family, until he reached an unfamiliar name: Evan. With every word he read, James felt his heart pounding in disbelief. As he read the exchanges between Laura and Evan, the messages grew increasingly intimate. In one, Laura had confided, "Sometimes I feel invisible at home. James doesn't see me the way you do." Evan responded with, "I'm here for you always." The texts progressed from flirtations to descriptions of moments spent together, secret dinners, shared glances, and confessions of emotions that had no place between just friends. In one message, Evan encouraged Laura to choose happiness, whatever that looks like for you. James's hands shook as he stumbled upon a message that revealed they'd booked a weekend trip together under the guise of Laura's upcoming business conference. He couldn't believe how meticulously planned these lies were. Laura had fabricated an entire schedule, even down to the hotel reservations, which she had stored in her notes app. The realization of Laura's deception hit him like a wave. He'd been pouring his energy into his work, into providing a good life, while she was building a parallel existence behind his back. The man she was sharing her secrets and desires with was someone he'd never even known existed. That night, James could barely sleep. His mind flooded with images of Laura and Evan together, laughing at his expense. He played out different scenarios, each more painful than the last. The next morning, he decided it was time to confront her. but he wanted to do it calmly, with all his emotions under control. He waited until they were both seated for breakfast, Laura cheerfully chattering about her conference next weekend. It was the perfect opening. "So this conference," James began, his voice betraying none of the anger simmering beneath. "Are you going alone?" Laura looked startled, caught off guard by the question. "Yes. Why do you ask?" Her eyes darted briefly, a hint of nervousness that didn't go unnoticed. "Just curious," he said casually, watching her closely. "I was thinking I could join you. You know, spend some time together." Laura's face fell as she scrambled for an answer. "Oh, it's really last minute, and it's not a +1 thing. Just business workshops and all." The ease with which she lied shook James to his core. Taking a deep breath, he leaned forward, his tone growing sharper. "Funny, because I read your messages with Evan. Seems like this conference was just a cover for a romantic getaway." The color drained from Laura's face as she realized the gravity of her exposure. "James, it's not what it looks like," she stammered, her voice shaky. "Then explain it to me, Laura," he replied coldly, crossing his arms. "Tell me why you've been sneaking around, sharing the parts of yourself with someone else that you vowed to only share with me." Laura attempted to rationalize her actions, fumbling through explanations about feeling unseen and lonely, how James's dedication to his job made her feel like she was fading into the background. She claimed that Evan had simply been a friend who understood her in a way that James no longer did. But her words felt hollow to him, as if she was grasping at any excuse to justify the months of lies and deceit. "So, you felt lonely. And instead of coming to me, instead of talking about it, you chose to betray me?" James's voice was laced with anger, hurt pouring from every word. "Do you have any idea what it feels like to discover that the person you trust most has been lying to you?" Laura fell silent, unable to meet his gaze. After the confrontation, James knew that he couldn't just let it slide. He couldn't erase the betrayal, but he could find a way to hold on to his dignity, and maybe make Laura and Evan feel some of the pain they'd inflicted on him. James used his connections in the tech industry to subtly discredit Evan's gym. With a few well-placed words and a couple of lost contacts, Evan's business began to falter. Memberships dropped, and his plans to expand fell apart. Evan, unaware of James's involvement, was left scrambling, unaware that the karma he faced had come directly from the man he had wronged. Meanwhile, as James distanced himself emotionally, Laura began to realize the full weight of her actions. Evan, feeling the pressure from his failing business, distanced himself from her, offering little support as he struggled to keep his gym afloat. Laura's facade of self-assurance began to crack. She had counted on Evan to be her escape, her secret companion. But as he retreated, she found herself alone in the ruins of her own making. One night, she came to James, her face etched with regret and sorrow. "James, I'm so sorry for everything," she whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. "I was selfish, and I can see that now. Please, can we try to fix this?" But James's trust was shattered beyond repair. He had seen her lies firsthand, experienced the betrayal in the rawest way possible. While part of him wanted to forgive, he knew that moving forward meant leaving behind the pain she had caused. In the weeks following their separation, James found solace in rediscovering himself. He reconnected with old friends, joined a local running club, and started focusing on his own well-being for the first time in years. Slowly, the betrayal faded, replaced by a newfound sense of resilience and strength. Laura, on the other hand, found herself alone, grappling with the consequences of her choices. She'd burned bridges, lost the trust of the man who had loved her unconditionally, and watched as her life crumbled around her. The glamorous, carefree life she'd envisioned with Evan had evaporated, leaving her in the ruins of her decisions. With time, James emerged stronger, wiser, and more attuned to his own needs and values. The experience taught him the importance of communication and self-respect, values he vowed never to compromise again. He knew that finding someone who truly respected and valued him wouldn't be easy, but he was finally at peace with his own company. Thank you for watching this powerful story of betrayal, resilience, and self-discovery. Life can throw us into situations where we feel lost and betrayed, but it's our choices afterward that shape who we become. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and comment with your thoughts. And remember, subscribing to Tale Teller means you'll never miss another gripping story. Until next time, thank you for watching.